Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Melanie and this channel will be basically me vlogging my journey as I transition from male to female. Melanie is my chosen name. It used to be Everett, but I have since had that legally changed. Some of you may be watching this and be thinking to yourselves, wait a minute. I've seen this before, and you would be correct. Back in October 2017, I came out as transgender, and in January of 2018, I started taking testosterone blockers, and in May of 2018, I got on estrogen treatments. And for a while, I was transitioning socially, medically, and all that good jazz. But in the beginning of 2019, after a kind of like emotional ride that had been caused by isolation, loneliness, failed expectations of my transition because my expectations were too high, I ended up in a spot where I was attempting suicide. And in that, I realized that I couldn't solve my problems on my own, and I ended up going to church. And since then, I have been saved, and I've been following Jesus ever since. I've been using the word since a lot. Cool. We'll try to ignore that. In that time, I had been determined to maintain my transition and live as Melanie full-time, but I kind of got swept up in a lot of emotions. I was new to the church. I was being influenced by them, not in a negative way. They were very loving and supporting of me as Melanie, but they began to hold me to a Christian standard once I had become a Christian and declared, Jesus is Lord. And coupled with that, all the emotions that came with that, the big change in life, the new people speaking into me, I had fallen in love with a very good friend of mine named Andrea. And between my emotions for her and what I believe God was calling me to do, I terminated my transition and began living as a man again. For a while, it was okay. There was a bit of immediate regret, but everything else that was going on in my life, it kind of seemed worth it. I was in a relationship with Andrea. We were dating. I was extremely happy, even though I kind of had that nagging bit of gender dysphoria still. After a couple of months, Andrea and I broke up, and I began to spiral again, and the regret of my detransition began to hit really hard. I began to feel a lot of guilt and upset, like I was just really disappointed in myself, but I tried to tough it out, I tried to pray through it, and I tried to really make it work, because I was determined to stay on the path that I was on. But after about 6 months of doing that, I couldn't do it any longer, and I caved into the regret, I caved into my dysphoria, I caved into my desires, and I was like, hey, I need to be on this transition. I need to be living as Melanie, living my truth, living my real identity for me, and not being influenced by anybody else in this decision that I make, because it's the only way that I'm ever going to be truly healthy on an emotional level and spiritual state. So back in December of 2019 now, I went back to the VA, because my transition was funded, my hormone replacement therapy was funded by the VA. I went back there and I got back on my hormone replacement therapy. So I am unfortunately starting my transition basically from step one again. But this time I'm sticking with it for good. I'm 100% committed to it. I'm not going to let anything outside really get in the way of that. So what this is kind of cataloging my second experience transitioning as I go through, and I kind of just like live life with the people that are involved as they walk this out with me, as they love on me, as they're there for the ups and the downs, and really just kind of cataloging how this life goes. I tried doing this last time, but it was less of a vlog thing and more of me just kind of sitting in front of the camera from time to time and ranting about things for like 20 minutes. So instead of doing that, I'm going to do weekly vlogs that just kind of show my day-to-day life, where I talk about transition. You kind of get to see me change over time, and we just kind of have a lot of fun together and go through good times and bad times and get to know each other. Kind of the update right now is that I am not transitioning socially. There's a very select few people, a few pastors, and some very, very close friends that are aware of the fact that I started my transition again, but really nobody else knows. and the physical signs were less evident for a while. You can't really see it in my face just because I naturally look, pretty young and soft-featured, or anywhere else on my body support, except for my chest. I started to grow boobs fairly quickly this time around, so I've got myself a nice little set of A cups, which is really exciting, but also kind of stressful because it's difficult to hide it without looking ridiculous. So right now, that's a little bit of a challenge. I'm in an internship with my church that's supposed to last until mid-May. And once that's done, I can hopefully come out as transgender and I don't have to hide it. But for now, that's pretty much what I'm doing. So a few of these vlogs are kind of going to be running on the idea of like, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious. So yeah, that's pretty much that. It's like the Spark Notes version of kind of what's going on. And obviously as we go through life, we'll dig through more of this. You'll learn more about me, you'll learn more about what it's like being transgender, what it's like transitioning, what it's like being transgender within the church, which is an experience in and of itself. And there will be times where I sit down and just talk about that. So I'm really excited for those of you who are joining me. I can't wait to go on this journey with you, and I really hope you learn something about me, about transgender people, about Christianity, about yourselves, and really just about anything that we happen to talk about. I'm so happy that you're joining me, and if you're interested in going on this ride with me, you can hit that subscribe button and ring the bell and hit the like button and all that. I guess I have to say that now because I'm like officially a real YouTuber. So, yeah. Alright, so now that we've got our brief little improvised introduction out of the way, let's jump on into it. I've gotten ready for the day. Now, before I head into classes, I just have to take my hormone replacement therapy, which consists of a pill called spironolactone, which I just call Spiro for short. 100 milligrams of that I take in the morning and in the evening, and that's what prevents me from producing testosterone. I also take a few other medications for just like general mental health, like I take Lexapro for depression, and then on Mondays and Fridays, I put on an estrogen patch that I wear that puts 0.2 milligrams of estrogen into my system a day. Patches look like this. I wear 2 of them, so I usually just stick them like on my lower stomach. They hang out. They stick pretty well, but sometimes they come off, which is a little frustrating, but they end up giving me enough that if like someone fell off for whatever reason or they don't stick properly, I don't run out before a refill is supposed to happen, which is really nice. So the VA is pretty on top of it with that. So the patches are a little bit better because instead of with the pills or the injections where it's like estrogen and then between doses, boom, estrogen, it gives you a constant dose of it throughout the day. So it's a little bit more consistent in how much you get instead of random spikes throughout the day. So I don't have to worry about like, oh no, I forgot to take my estrogen. Like, boom, I've always got a constant amount coming into me, which is nice.
ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12 have canceled their men's basketball tournaments.
They canceled it?
10 minutes ago. Wait, they canceled what?
Everything's canceled.
No March Madness.
2020's canceled. We're all just gonna come back and next January. It's fine.
Elections canceled.
Mhm. Oh yeah. No, they're done.
President Trump's gonna be the first president to do 3 terms. Just kidding.
Well, he wouldn't be the first. FDR did 3 and some change.
I'm kidding, everyone. We're gonna be in
These pictures are funny because they're like live photos. I love how the live photo stops when Pastor Kenny's like in some wild. It's like Sonic running.
Invest in the Lord.
I don't know. They're fine.
And no.
No.
I was literally like, I didn't know, but I'm serious. Recession is coming. Y'all need to start investing.
No,
Dude,
you invest during or after the recession. You don't do it before the recession.
It's already dropped. Not before. I'm saying at the lowest point.
It
has dropped.
Yes.
The stocks have dropped.
Where are we at right now?
Now's a good time to invest.
They're already dropping.
No. It's just because it's loud out here.
Y'all wait. Bro,
I just happened to make 5 minutes. So see what happens. Now, what do you next? Come on, start.
dude, I think I'm gonna invest like.
Stocks have been dropping like crazy, but they'll bounce back up.
I don't have that money.
Well, here's the thing. If you invest in like tissue companies, it's just gonna give out eventually. I mean, I go for.
preach a great sermon and thought, oh man, this is going to be awesome. I'm just going to share this with them. It wasn't born out of, hey, this sounds like a great idea. This makes sense. I'm going to just, pass this along to them. This was really born out of the trenches of my life and where God has brought me to and from and all of those things. So when I give it to you today, it's more so, hey, come along on this journey with me, because these are the things that I wish that maybe I could whisper into the ear of 20-year-old Chrissy and really just share with her, say, hey, if you could just be alert to these things, if you could just pay attention to these things as you're on your journey, it might have made my journey a little bit easier. Your will to fulfill your destiny, your purpose, your calling, all of those things are going to be determined right here. Not because God doesn't have them for you, not because he hasn't given it to you, not because he hasn't planned it for your life, because the word says, I know the plans I have for you. Those are set. Those have not been, taken away. You can make mistakes, all those things. God says his gifts are not, revocable. They're going to be steadfast in your life no matter what, but it's going to be right here that's going to determine whether or not you walk out what God has for you, whether you lay claim to all the promises that God has for your life. And there's tons of promises in here. There's tons of gifts in this room. There's plans set in place. There's destinies, callings, all of those things. I could go through here and we could spend the next hour talking about all the amazing things that are in store for your life. But if you give up along the way, you could negate what God really has for you. So I want to give you these pearls of wisdom. So in Joshua, I would describe this very first chapter. We're going to start chapter 1. This very first chapter as the beginning. And if you see, and we're going to read through it, it's really a set of instructions. It's hey, this is how you're going to get from point A to point B. He's just coming out of the 40 years in the wilderness. This has been a long trek. How many of you guys have waited for something for a long time? Yeah, when you wait, it's just like, oh, how much longer? I told you, I kind of told on myself in 626, I don't like to wait. And when Starbucks, came up with the app and I can order ahead and walk in and get it, it was like, oh, the angels were singing, oh, I don't like to wait in the line. So when you see in the Bible, and you're going to see in the Bible, as you will see in your life, as you walk on this journey of faith, there's going to be some waiting involved. So there was 40 years in the waiting in the wilderness. So we're just on the precipice of everything new, a new beginning. So in chapter 1, God begins this with a charge to Joshua. The time has come. Turning either to the right or to the left, then you will be successful in everything you do. Study this book of instruction continually. Meditate on it day and night so that you will be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all you do. This is my command. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. As you peer into this conversation between Joshua and God, you're gonna see beyond that little pep talk he was giving you. Really, this was the prolific guidance that God was trying to deposit in his life. Like, listen, I got all this for you, but this is important. You're going to need this along the way to get where you're going. You're going to need to know that you're going to have to be in the Word. The Word is going to have to be your everything. You're going to have to meditate on it. It's a daily dose of sustaining grace. You're going to have to be in this Word, because if you're not, you're going to get distracted. You're going to get set off course. You're going to forget what God said. You're going to have to meditate on it. And that whole meditate, I know you guys have heard this before, but it's that whole thought process of the cow that's just like regurgitating and coming back on it and thinking about it again and then swallowing it and then bringing it back up. It's disgusting. But it's a really good, analogy, because that's what the Word needs to be in your life. I'm telling you right now, there are going to be great highs, but there's going to be some great lows as well. And if you're not grounded in the Word, if you're not making it a point every day to I don't care if it's one scripture, or if it's a whole chapter, or if it's 10 chapters, whatever you do, make sure that you embrace it. Make sure that you hold on to it. Make sure that it's your life preserver. Because if you don't, you're going to get into deep waters, and then you might drown.
Can't what? No. We're going to. Ow! I just hit that person's car. Yep, and I hit it right on the hip, on the mirror.
Small place, so I don't know how much room you'll actually have in there.
Okay.
Right,
EQ Ramen going on a cultural journey with
cultural journey.
young Julian and Claudia. Do you? Gosh, it. Wild. Rules of ramen. What
Okay,
are they?
rules of ramen. Number 1, eat it while it's hot. Number 2, you have to use chopsticks. Number 3, you have to slurp it. I know it's not usually common to slurp a spaghetti. Here it's fine. And 4, you need to, what was it? Don't leave your chopsticks in the ramen. That's disrespectful. That's like saying like, hey, you're getting me. So, yeah, the rules of ramen.
Wow.
Just slurp it. Slurp it.
Asian culture is so unique. I love it. You know, a lot of places have like in Afghanistan, they have strict rules. They eat everything with their hands.
Oh.
So according to Julian, when you split your chopsticks, if it's even, you have good luck. Like his, if it's uneven, you're gonna have bad luck.
Like his.
Womp, womp.
So bad.
The curse stays.
So I'm trying to figure out how to use chopsticks here.
What's that?
Hey Morgan! And I am not very proficient. But here we go.
Hey Morgan in the background. Hey Morgan. Hey Morgan.
All right, Julian, I may need your help with the chopsticks.
You need some more
The struggle is real. I got it.
I gotta slurp it. Nice.
Pro slurp. Claudia, how is it? Are we loving it or are we loving it? She's better with her chopsticks than I am by a lot.
I just think that
I'm a little fogged up.
Fogged up, yeah.
I saw that.
I couldn't see anything. I couldn't.
Yes.
I don't even know how to hold these things. How are you doing it? I'm sorry, I'm a white people. Yeah, I'm going with the fork. I'm just gonna embarrass
My
myself.
mom typically hasn't never tried ramen before. My mom typically hasn't tried ramen because she just doesn't want to feel the shame of not knowing how to use chopsticks.
I'm not having much luck with the fork either. Ooh, look at that steam.
Dang.
Look at that steam. Here we go. So, shamefully, I had to resort to the fork instead of the chopsticks to eat, but still good. Still good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man, look, my hair looks so poofy. Like anime as heck, right?
Yeah.
Anime main character hair minus the color. There's Claudia. So we just got back, or not just got back, just left EQ Ramen, and it was great. My first time, loved it. Julian's been there plenty of times. She's a ramen
Second home.
aficionado, an expert. And then, Claudia, what did we think of the ramen?
What? I'm sorry.
What did we think of the ramen?
I thought it was great.
Thought it was great. Her and I we're sweating a little bit from it.
Yeah.
So,
It's a hug to the soul.
yeah, it is. It is.
hug to the
A
soul.
nice hot
It's a sweaty
hug.
hug. Sweaty hug. But you need it.
But that's how you know there's real love there.
Yeah, it's just long enough for it just embraces you. Yeah, it's a sweaty hug. That's all it is. It just embraces you.
From now on, anytime I get sick, I'm postmating myself some ramen.
Do it.
If it's even an option, it should
And then,
be.
or just have the Postmate driver give you a sweaty hug.
I think I'll pass on that one.
All right.
So, you know.
In the notes, please get a sweaty hug.
I always wonder about that. Like, if you put ridiculous things in the
Yeah.
notes, like how far they'll go to do it.
Huh. I think the crazy thing I've seen is just like this person give a whole reason as to why he didn't like tomatoes, and he like, I had a pizza order, and well, my grandma's from Italy, and all this stuff about, oh, yeah, and then she's from Italy. These aren't even real tomatoes. I only have my grandma's tomatoes because she had a place in Italy, and I don't care about it. I don't really care about your tomato excursion.
It is.
because they start saying I only like meatball, spaghetti sauce.
Nobody makes meatballs and spaghetti like my grandma. I'm real Italian.
Olive Garden's real Italian.
Oh, Olive Garden.
Olive Garden's real
Makes
Italian.
me mad that they don't deliver, because I wanted pasta for like the last week. It's like, okay, yeah, when you're there, you're family.
So is ramen more of a soup or of a pasta then?
Ramen's a soup.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure pasta is based on the style of noodle.
Yeah. Al dente, man.
But I don't know.
Oh, shoot. I almost hit a car.
I don't know. Because it's usually based on like wheat noodles, right? And
yeah.
I don't know. You know what? That's a question for Google. Claudia, what do you think? Is ramen a pasta or a soup?
Ramen is a soup
Because it's noodles and broth
because it's more broth than noodles.
versus sauce. I think she's got the right idea.
Dang. So the sauce
Versus
pasta?
sauce. Yeah. We're not gonna talk about sauce right now, though.
No.
Not.
No. I'm off the clock. Keep work at work, Everett.
Not on the
Keep work
vlog.
at work.
I work at the church.
That's true. Keep church at church. Just kidding.
No.
Don't do that.
Excuse me, we are the church, so I get to take the church anywhere I want. Gotcha. I have no problems at church. My only problem is that there isn't enough church.
What? Who says that?
Me, I say that.
My only problem is I don't have no church.
Apparently I'm some sinner. I don't know.
Heathen, I think, is the word you're looking for. We're all sinners. That's why we need Christ as our Savior.
I'm just gonna say
Condescending. That's me.
I gotta send a text.
Are you texting and driving?
No, sure.
Safety first, no texting and driving. That's why I gotta use the talk to text. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're heading back to the church.
Text Pastor Billy.
We're texting Pastor Billy.
Hey, what specific stuff do you need done at Oro Valley today? Question mark.
Here's your message. Okay, it's sent. There you go, you can talk now.
Julian's going to his campus over at Oro Valley to do some stuff, and Claudia and I are gonna do some seat backs here. We're gonna put pens and tithing envelopes and stuff in the seats.
Tithing isn't generosity, it's just required.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Facts.
Tithe, you're stealing from the church.
Hashtag facts. And you're also, you know, I get paid by tithe, so I need to pay myself.
Yeah.
It's true. I work for the church.
Myself. Here's to me.
Self-employed.
It's like when I was in the military and I was paying taxes, and my entire salary came from taxes. A lot of things.
That makes
My
sense.
train of thought is a runaway. All right, just let it happen. I've seen a whole lot of judgment coming from you.
You can literally see my sweat in that camera. It's
You. All right. Well, I think that's good for now.
Some fun. See you next time.
Oh, there's Bryce. Hit him. It looks so much farther away in the camera. I'm gonna zoom in really quick, make it seem like we're getting super close to him. Oh, that's as far as it can go. Wow.
We're gonna crash.
Wow. Wow.
Dude, since I woke up, I was like, I just like. Oh, I know. No. Is it? I don't think it's like I just feel tired. Like, I'm tired. I'm hungry. No, I'm not.
I just smacked my head against this wall somewhat hard. Dude, this place turns into a zoo the second there's any downtime. Literally.
Is there staying up till 2 a.m. on like what is going on? I don't know. They scheduled me Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday.
At least we got the seat backs done though, so.
Saturday's not ready.
Just the two of us.
It's also Pi Day. I know you're gonna have so much fun.
Michael, just your face does
Oh,
not
you know
change
what? My
the
birthday
whole
party's on Pi Day. I should get pie.
I thought your birthday was on.
My birthday's on the 16th. It's on Monday, but I'm having my party on the 14th on Saturday. Because yeah. No, it's on Saturday. I have a bunch of stuff I got to do on Monday. So.
People don't even tip when they have a $70 bill.
You what? Michael Aaron Robinson.
When you do that laugh, it's so funny.
We're getting somewhere, Everett.
I mean, at least he can hold his Oscar. But what did you win the Oscar for?
Creating magical daughters who end up sucking.
Daughter, only one of them is magical, and they don't suck. Those are fighting words.
Listen,
I love Frozen.
Elsa is nothing compared to any of the other Disney princesses. I'm not a Disney fan, but that's why. We'll be right back.
Just want to make sure no one hears you screaming for help.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look at all these cleaning supplies.
Look at all this. Coronavirus.
Fighting coronavirus up in
Coronavirus.
here.
It's done. Do you hear me? Done. Don't. What if there's something in it?
I would be a little bit upset, I'm not gonna lie, because a lot of that would have hit me right in my eyeballs that are already not that good. But I already told Garrett I can't get coronavirus.
Why?
Because I drink Busch Light. I'm not a Corona drinker.
Stupid.
Ha. Knee slapper right there. That's a knee slapper. So what kind of stuff do you do here working at event services, Isaac?
We fight coronavirus. We end coronavirus. We start war with coronavirus. We take viruses as prisoners of war, and we beat them, and we lynch them, and we get them to tell us all of China's secrets.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, what do we do that is not involving the coronavirus?
Nothing. Unless you include...
Facts. Event Services was an elite task force created by the Lord himself to
Yes.
fight coronavirus
He
within the
knew-
walls of Victory
He
Worship
knew
Center.
prophetically that we would be needed for this day. So here we are, ready to fight, standing tall.
We're actually
Our-
we're both sitting.
Our weapon is a melody. We raise a hallelujah. Yeah.
Ooh, good Lord, sis, look at that hair. Oh, what a mess. It's getting so long though, honey, like, it's poopy and all over the place, but I'm so for it right now. It's getting there. It's almost long enough to straighten, so just got to be a little bit more patient. Anyways, that's my week. This video was a little bit long just because we had the intro and all that stuff, but hopefully you guys don't mind the roughness around the edges, the little bit of that beginner kind of feel in the vlog, and I really hope that I can see you next time for the next part of my journey. So thank you so much for those of you that stuck through this for the 30-minute gauntlet this video was. Y'all are amazing. If there's any kind of questions or comments or anything like that, I would love to hear what you guys have to say, or anything that you guys want insight throughout in this journey. I would love to be able to just kind of make a content that's really tailored to what people want to see in this experience as a transgender Christian. So thank you so much for joining me for this. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing, what have you. I hope you guys all have an awesome week, and I will see you next Friday.